Gingerman Raceway in South Haven, Michigan. This is the third round of the 2024 ASRA Midwest Series. It was my first time ever to this track, and it was a challenging weekend for me, also a pretty rewarding one, and then also one where it's made me realize I really need to change my approach to learning a new track compared to how I did it. So I'd signed up to do the practice day on Friday, and I signed up for the intermediate track group. There was also an advanced track group and then a racer group, and I didn't want to be on track with people that really knew how to fly around this thing, riding on thousands and stuff. So did the intermediate track day, which was a good thing because it gave me more time to try to learn the track, but also I never really rode behind somebody who knew what they were doing, and that ultimately led to, that wasn't the only thing, but it contributed to an issue that I had. So I did a lot of video watching trying to learn this track, and there's 4 turns that kind of all look like each other when you're out there for the first time, and they all run completely differently. They're all right-handers. 10B isn't so much. This is the one I was mostly struggling with. But 2, 3, and 7, it took me until about the lunch hour to figure out which one was which, because I'm constantly thinking, which turn is this? And what I ended up finding is that I really needed to be slowing down a whole lot more for these things, and I wasn't doing it. But I don't know. I didn't put a lap timer on during the track day, so I didn't know what to be looking for. I ended up qualifying at 1:45. There's a couple bikes that I want to be ahead of, and then there's a couple much, much faster people that I know I'm not going to have anything for, so I'm starting third here. And there's going to be 2 bikes that just disappear, essentially. And I still don't know how to start. That hasn't changed. I did keep trying new things. This one didn't work too well. So those 2 riders are just going to disappear. And then I'll drop to 4th here. Now there's somebody right on my inside, so that's why I'm not cutting it that close. So the rider in front of me had just gotten there that Saturday morning, so this is only his 3rd time on track, so he's probably going to be struggling. I know he's going to be struggling with the exact same things that I had been, just trying to memorize the thing. Now, he learns tracks a hell of a lot quicker than I do, so he's probably going to figure it out during this race. So essentially what I want to do is get past him and then leave him as quickly as I can, and I'm pretty sure I know which part of the track I'm going to be able to do it. And it's going to be on the transition from 8 to 9. That's a long right-hander into a left. So is it 8 to 9 or 9? Yeah, 8 to 9. So I think we're coming up to 7 now. And so we're going to get through 7. I'll run it a little bit wider because I want to do is be able to straighten this out and be able to carry as much speed through 9 as possible and get around him on the left. And I'm much stronger on left than I am on right. So that actually, it works out that way. Gets a little close, but we're all good. And then we're going to get up to the part of the track where I struggled more than anywhere else. If you're seeing this, you already see what I'm doing wrong if you know what you're doing. I didn't know it. I'd never ridden behind somebody who knew how to get that thing through that thing. I was pushing the tire so hard through that turn because my drive felt like it was so bad. If I tried to bring it all the way inside like I'd seen most videos, I just figured it'd be hard to get around me if I'm trying to carry some corner speed, and because I give up so much drive. What it ended up doing was killing my front tire. So this was how, I'm going to do one lap after this, but this was how the finishing order was. And so the whole time I thought that 2 bikes were going to be right behind me. I never looked behind me. I'd opened up so obviously the 2 riders up here that, I mean, they've both run in Moto America this year. I wasn't going to be anywhere near them. I didn't know that I actually had as much time as I did on 2nd place. I figured this 510 and 518 were going to be right behind me the whole time. And as we got further into the weekend, they would have been, but not in this race. And then if I looked at my lap times, I was basically running 144, 44, 44, 44. 46 is where I hit that big bump in 10B. It kind of shit my pants a little bit back to a 44. And then it just kept getting worse and worse on that front in 10B. Like on my little aim solo thing, it kept saying I was tracking towards 43, 43. And then as soon as I get to that turn, it just goes, like it's all lit up green. Like you're doing well, you're doing well. And then it gets there. It's like, yeah, 3 red bars, buddy. Try again next time. So I did keep pushing through it because I didn't want to get overtaken right to the line because I wasn't sure if there was somebody right behind me. I'm going to show one more. This is just we're in the 2nd lap of GTL now. And you'll see this one specifically, I can't commit to just slowing down enough to set direction of the bike. Like, I felt like I was giving up too much corner speed if I was doing it. In retrospect, I wouldn't have been. It would have been much smarter, safer, and quicker to slow down to go faster. But I wasn't doing it, and I could see my lap. I mean, I felt pretty comfortable I'd be fine at 144s if I kept running that, but somebody probably wouldn't just get by me easily. I'd at least make it difficult for them. But this is one where I'd love another crack to go back there after getting to think about this and run it completely differently. But yeah, this is the part of the track where I felt, when I ended up catching lap traffic later in the race, I could see that this section of the track was the part that I was quicker than most, where I was slower in a lot of the rest of the track. I almost want to run one higher or one lower sprocket to see if I can keep from redlining between 4 and 5. Or I need to add another shift point, because I feel like I was redlining it for too long there. So this straightaway, the wind is coming right at you. It wasn't bad on Saturday, but it was bad on Sunday. It kind of blows you around. And it also is like about 90 degrees on this day, so that wasn't probably helping me and my tire issues. I've never had a front tire issue before this weekend, and it wasn't the tire, it was my dumb riding style that was doing it. But that's what the tire looked like after the GTL race. And I've never done that before. So I was trying to get opinions from everybody on what I was doing wrong, and it kind of, a lot of people were saying similar things. You got way too much weight over the front. I was using basically all of the travel outside of maybe 4 millimeters of the thing. So I put the remaining preload into the front of it, and then I tried to tell myself to run the turns a little bit differently, but I couldn't commit to it because I didn't know how to prove to myself that what I was doing was actually wrong. And honestly, the tire felt fine through everything but 10B. I'd never truly felt what a front end slide felt, or like a front tire slide felt like, and I felt it in every one of the last 5 laps of the GTL. So this is just me not knowing things that well. And so then the next race we have is Ultra Lightweight Superbike, which was like 2 races after the GTL finished. And I'm starting third again. The fucking light, the starter light is like straight left. I can barely see it. I want to stay behind second place. The woman who's going to end up in second place, I know I'm not going to be able to get by her, but I know I can learn a shit ton if I don't let her get away right away. I missed the shift. That wasn't that bad of a start for me. Obviously, that missed shift didn't help, but that wasn't that bad. That was better than most of them. It was still pretty bad. But I want to get up to second place because I don't want her to just disappear, because I think I can learn a shit ton if I can just keep in contact with her. So I already know that I'm going to try to do the exact same thing that I did in the GTL race. Here's where I'm wondering if I needed to be adding another shift point. I wasn't on it as hard that time, but I feel like I'm redlining it for too long there. But I'd be in 5th gear for like 1 second. So he grabs his downshift or upshift there. He went to 3rd to 4th there, and I'm almost wondering if I should have tried to do that. Instead, I'm grabbing it right here. All right, but I see he's going to make a little wiggle, a little mistake, so he's got to back off a bit. I'm 100% convinced this pass is going to stick. And it didn't. Obviously, that line looks like shit. I know that now in retrospect. The bike went where I wanted it to go. I started stopping when I wanted it to, and I started turning when I wanted it to. I just asked too much of a tire that I'd already destroyed. I'm not blaming the tire, I'm blaming myself, because I had every indication that was going to happen. The bike had been telling me for 30 minutes before that this is going to happen. And then I'd let my excitement get too much of me. I didn't want to lose touch with second place there, and I wanted to make that pass stick. And I had to learn a tough lesson. And now I'm in the grass. I did turn my turn signal on there for everybody, I guess. So I picked the bike up, and like I'm in a weird spot, but I know I got like a minute before they get back. You could hear my airbag deflating right now. The airbag saved me again. I literally didn't get hurt at all. And I'm trying to just push it somewhere. And I ended up laying it down. I can see there's a corner worker station way up in the left. Like, they can barely probably see the top of my head. I'm giving thumbs up and shit. I heard that they were putting I don't know if it was a waving yellow or a standing yellow in that corner for a while. I just didn't want it to red flag the thing. So I had a lot of time to think about what I just did. And I don't know if you've ever seen the show Deadwood, but my favorite show is the show Deadwood. And so I had 7 laps to just watch all of these bikes going by. And I just kept thinking of this scene as I'm watching this and thinking how dumb I was for that one.
Thunder. Ma'am. Listen to the thunder.
So Wild Bill was telling me to listen to the thunder, and I chose not to. So that's what the bike looked like afterwards. You can't actually even tell that it was in a crash compared to when I got there because that's what my bike looked like before. Actually, I just basically I had to replace a clip-on, brake lever, and then part of the rear set, and then I was able to buy I thought I had every single piece for Woodcraft rear sets. I was actually missing the little shifter knuckle thing. Or not shifter, sorry, I had 3 of those. The little brake pedal knuckle thing, and somebody there offered to sell me one. I'm very thankful for that because I was able to get back out on Sunday. So this is where we were parked, and I just got a shit ton of help from people to put this thing back together way quicker than I would have been able to. And a piece of advice I'd gotten from a former racer that I talked to quite a bit on the Honda VFR forums was that if you're not hurt and you are able to, try to get back out, do it in a safe way, knowing that you're safe, get out there and just try to knock those demons off or get rid of those demons, that maybe hesitation or scaredness, as quickly as you can. And so for Sunday, that's what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be starting in the back, so I just gridded myself in the back. And I didn't fully like how I had the front brake lever feeling anymore. So I was just going to obviously, people are all going to get by me anyway on the starts, especially if I'm starting in the back. But I was just going to give a cushion and just feel the bike out, make sure everything's running okay, because I'd rather figure it out here at Gingerman than not know by the time I get to Blackhawk for the next race. So this one is lightweight superbike. And this one was a really good race for me to learn from. So I'm going to be backing off quite a bit because I don't want to get near anybody until I know for a fact that my braking is good. I also really want to watch the rider in front of me because he's pretty darn quick. And he kind of highlights something that I think a lot of early track riders need to know, is that body position isn't everything. In fact, it's pretty low on the list of priorities. It obviously matters. Mine could take a lot of improvement, but the rider in front of me can't move his legs. So he's not going to look like your typical rider. 100% of where his lap time is going to come from is going to be his technique in everything but body position. So I'm going to use this race to learn how he's getting around this track and how I can get through a lot of these turns better, specifically the ones where I got to slow down, change direction. And the one I'm going to focus on primarily is that 10B, where I had been destroying a tire. I should also say that somebody had gifted me, one of my competitors, one of the guys that I am racing against, offered me a takeoff front tire, or else I wouldn't have been able to run this Sunday, and I'm really thankful that he did that, and I got to find a way to repay him. So I'm trying to follow his line. I didn't commit to slowing down enough to get direction, and then I just watch him disappear. I'm just going to show all the 10Bs from this race, so I'm trying to learn to slow down. I didn't get the direction quite enough, but it was a little bit better. All right, I got to commit to slowing down. And then he's on the gas harder, quicker, and just disappears out of these corners. He may have a little bit more motor than me. I mean, actually, I know for a fact he does. But he's still getting out of that turn a lot better than I am. I think there's one more, and I'll stop boring you with 10B turns, but this is what I do after a race weekend. I watch this shit and figure out how can I get better at this. So, anyway, next race. This is the last race of the day. A lot of people race in the series from Wisconsin. It's a bitch and a half to get to Chicago, so not everybody stayed for the last race. This is lightweight super sport, and I go to press the button, and my fucking starter, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't even try turning. So my worry was that because we had that throttle housing, the button thing on and off so many times, that there was just an issue with it. I tried to get a push start from one of the guys who was actually helping the other rider out that I was following. He tried to give me a push start. I haven't push started a bike since I left my keys in my bike in college on my little Honda Interceptor. I couldn't do it. He gets on the bike. This guy's, I just called him my guardian angel for this weekend because he basically helped me fix the entire bike. And now he's going to get on this bike in flip-flops and get this thing started. This guy was he was active up until at least 2022, former Canadian superbike rider, and he's just one of my favorite people. And this ends up turning out to be one of my favorite motorcycle experiences I've ever had. So I'm not on the bike right now. He's getting a push from another one of the guys. Yeah, grid's been called, third call's been given. This has to happen really quickly. And then, of course, this ended up on whatever, Track Day Junkies Unleashed is where I saw the video posted. So then I come running. He's got it started. I look like I don't know what I'm doing here, but I have to get my airbag buckled in. I also, when I put this new engine in, the neutral light switch, not switch, but the light indicator, it doesn't work. So I'm struggling to figure out if we're in second or third or whatnot. And then I'm pretty sure they held the grid open an extra 15 seconds for me, but I made it. Lightweight super sport. There's a kid on a Kramer that is going to destroy everybody. We looked. It's unlikely that he's going to lap us in 7 laps. If it goes 8, he'll lap us. So it's just a race I'm with the 2 people that I'm camping with. They know that if they show me a wheel, I'm going to let them go by, or if they just beat me off the start. And I knew that they were going to be both in front of me during this, and I just wanted to videotape it. So they are racing for the race win. These 2 have known each other for 25 years. The one who is making the pass for the lead right now just got back into racing road bikes after a 25-year hiatus. The guy who's now behind him got him back into it. So these are the 2 I've been camping with. They're both on Yamaha R7s, newer ones. I think they're both 23s. So now I'm watching the 41, and I'm just trying to figure out where is he going to try to get by him. Because I know he doesn't want to lose to him. I can see he's thinking about it going into turn 11, but it's probably not going to be quite enough. And so I think I'm just going to show the remainder of this is coming up to the white flag. I know the one who's in second place right now doesn't want to finish in second place. And their drive is just so much better than me. I don't know. I gotta figure out why I can't turn on. I can't get the bike pointed where I want to on corner exit if I'm putting any power down, which is why I feel like I gotta be pushing it so much harder. I'm not gonna be doing it too hard in this because I don't know the history of this front tire. I basically just want to log these laps, get some confidence back, and I want to watch these 2 battle it out. But yeah, they pretty much get away from me in every part of the track outside of this section from 4 to 9, which is where I'm able to catch back up to them. Even there, I see him walk. So I thought he would wait until turn 11, but actually going to make the pass that I tried to make, and then I ended up halfway to Lake Michigan on that one. And he's going to be gone. Pretty sure he's going to be gone. Actually, I know for a fact he's going to be gone because I've seen this before and I was in this race, but yeah, he's gone. So this is the last turn. we all want to bring our bikes home in one piece, and we're all able to do it. And honestly, it was a fun weekend. It's a cool track. I just didn't learn it quick enough because I have a shitty learning technique apparently, and I got to make some pretty major changes to how I do it. So that was my weekend at Gingerman Raceway. A tough one for me because I felt pretty stupid after that. I don't have any regrets about it because I wouldn't put myself or anybody else in a dangerous position if I didn't think that pass would stick. I mean, if you've seen these videos before, you know I bring myself out of a lot of passing opportunities if I'm not 100% certain. I guess the only regret I have is that I did put the rider of the 518 in a pretty shitty spot. That must have been scary as hell because, I mean, not even, I'm laughing because it's over and nobody got hurt, but I don't like that I did that to somebody else, but it's the first time I was really kind of pushing like that. And so now I know what that feels like. I know what being on the edge feels like. I know where it is, and it's the first time. That was my first ever crash where I was by myself. I mean, that was 100% my fault. I don't want to do that anymore. So I got 3 more rounds, 2 more Blackhawks, and 1 more Pittsburgh. I'll be ready to go. So if you watch this far, thanks for watching.